Hey, what's up guys? So I have to kill an hour because I'm waiting for Corey to get off of work and I just got home from work, so I'm kind of semi-ready to do a video. So I figured I would just sit down and tell you guys a little story. I was in middle school, I'm pretty sure I was in 7th grade, and I stayed after school to watch a football game. I was with 3 friends and we were all hanging out, having a good time, and 2 of the friends somehow got mad at me and our other friend. Kind of confusing, but anyways. 2 of the friends got on the activity bus, which is the late bus that, takes the students home that want to stay for activities. So they caught the activity bus, and somehow me and the girl that I was with, Samantha, we missed the activity bus. I don't remember how that happened. I just know that we went to go on the bus and the buses were gone. So Sam and I went to the office. The vice principal was in there and she was kind of, on her way out going home. So we asked to use her cell phone. I think she let us use the office phone, not her phone. But neither of our parents answered. We asked her if maybe she could give us a ride home, and she had her kids with her and she was kind of just like, whatever, I have things to do kind of thing. She said that she couldn't give us a ride home, but we could go back to the football field and try to, use people's cell phones and try to get a hold of our parents or try to get a ride home. So we went back to the football field and most people had already left. I didn't have a cell phone yet, so I didn't have numbers with me. After this point, my mom got me a planner and had every number listed of people that I could call so that this never happened again. But at this point, we were totally unprepared for something like this. I didn't memorize any numbers except for my best friend's house. So I called my best friend's house hoping to get her mom, and she didn't answer. Nobody seemed to care that 2 girls were just wandering around trying to get a hold of their parents and had missed the bus, so didn't have a way home. Everyone were kind of just blowing us off. Our school was kind of out in the country too, so it was going to be a long walk, but we couldn't get a hold of anybody. Nobody was giving us a ride. People let us use their phones, but that didn't help very much because our parents were answering their phones. Looking back, we probably should have just stayed at the school and waited until our parents, I don't know, came looking for us or something. I don't know. Being 7th graders, we didn't really have road direction, so we decided we would just walk our bus route home. Luckily, my friend and I lived in the same apartment complex, so, we were on the same path home. So we start hoofing it. We start walking home, and I just remember it being a really, really long walk. And I remember a few things happening that kind of just really creeped us out. So the first thing that happened, I'm not going to say the exact road we were on, obviously, it wouldn't matter anyway, but we were just on this kind of back road in the country, and all of a sudden we see this giant white dog down the road from us. We're like, oh crap. So we start walking towards this dog slowly and nicely, it could be a nice dog, we don't know. As we got closer, we discovered that it was not a nice dog. It was growling, it was kind of barking at us, and so we crossed the street, and well, that didn't work because it took after us. It started chasing us. Samantha was yelling after me, "Don't run!" and I was booking it. I was not about to get attacked by a giant white dog. It was giant and fluffy, it just looked so intimidating and scary, and it was barking, and it was... So I'm running like a pansy down the road. Once it started chasing me, Sam started running too. The dog finally stopped chasing us. We probably only ran for a minute or 2. But it seemed like forever. I was terrified that this dog was going to attack me. So we were probably about halfway home when the next incident happened. It was probably about 8 o'clock, so our parents were probably freaking out about that time. The activity bus usually dropped us off at home around 6:30-ish, I want to say, 6:37. So we definitely should have been home by now. My siblings were all home from school. My other 2 friends, I don't know if they were just pissed off and didn't care that we were just stranded at school, didn't care what happened to us, but we were 7th grade girls, whatever, we were bitchy. The next thing that happened was this car full of guys pulled up to us. They just pulled over to the side of the road and kind of were whistling at us and just, being boys. We don't really know how old they were. I'm assuming they were high school guys, but it was dark by that point, so I couldn't really see inside the car. Being 2 alone 7th grade girls just on the side of the road, walking home alone and having a car full of guys just pull up to you and start, whistling and being like, "Hey ladies, you want a ride? You need a ride home? What are you doing out so late?" We politely were just like, "No thanks, we're good. We're almost home," even though we were probably still an hour away from being home. We weren't about to, get in the car with a bunch of guy strangers. We're not that stupid. They were kind of just like following us along, as we were walking, because we didn't stop at all. We just kept walking. We were like, no thanks. And they were just slowly driving alongside of us. So we were like, okay, creeps, like, what the hell do you want? We said no, go away. They'd rolled up all the windows at this point and were just literally driving alongside of us as we were walking. And they drove off. And then we were really creeped out because we saw them turn around, pull Yui, and come back the other way. So we were like, oh my God, what is happening right now? Luckily, they just drove right past. We were totally fine. Nothing happened. Didn't get in a drive-by shooting or anything. There was the dog. There was the car. Oh yeah. So this part is kind of embarrassing to admit. But, so like at the beginning of our trek here, I had to pee really, really bad. You guys see where this is going. We were probably about half an hour from home at this point, and luckily it was dark, so it's not like anyone could see me, but I had to go so bad, and I was just way too embarrassed to pop a squat in somebody's yard. Now that I think back though, there was like an irrigation ditch and stuff that I could have just, went in. Not a big deal. But I was way too scared. Yeah, I pissed my pants. So the last half hour of my walk, I just had piss-ridden jeans because I had to pee so damn bad, and I was way too embarrassed to just pop a squat on the side of the road. I just could not hold it anymore, and it just happened. And I don't even think I told Samantha. I just let her believe that nothing was happening. And yeah, pissed my pants. So we finally get to the apartment complex, and my siblings are all at home. By the way, I have one sister and two brothers. They're all younger than me. They were all at home, so when I walked in the door, they were all like, oh my God, where the fuck have you been? Kind of thing. They didn't say fuck because they were younger than me, but they were freaking out. My sister was crying, thinking I had been kidnapped or something. So I was like, where are our parents? They left some quarters in case I came home so that I could run down to the payphone and call them. This sounds like such olden times. I was in 7th grade. This was 2007. This was not like terribly long ago. This was like a decade ago, but here I am with quarters running to a payphone to get a hold of my parents. So I call my mom on the payphone. She's crying. She's like, where are you? A mom, a worried mom. I don't blame her. I was like missing in action. So apparently they had driven out to the school, but they used the highway. They didn't use our bus route. We weren't sure how to get home from the highways. That's why we took the bus route, because we knew exactly how to get home. I don't know why they didn't think of that, honestly. Taking the bus route, I feel like if I was trying to think like a middle schooler, that's what I would have came up with. Anyways, they went to the school and searched for us and everything and didn't find us and came back home and then went to the police station. She was literally next in line about to file this report that I was missing. Luckily, I called her just in time and she was like, oh my God, never mind, this is her. I'm a scared child that is obviously in trouble, but at the same time, like, she's appreciative that I'm alive. We hung up. She's on her way back home. I go back to my apartment. Sam's mom was just like, oh, there you are. Hey, where were you? Like, complete opposite to my mom, who was freaking the fuck out. Yeah, everyone's crying. Everyone's just like, so glad that I'm okay. It's understandable. I was at school. Shit like that happens all the time where kids don't get on a bus or do get on a bus and get kidnapped at bus stops and stuff like that. I'm so glad it didn't turn out to be anything crazy. I told my mom everything that had happened. She was really, really pissed that the vice principal just left us there. She said that was unacceptable, and I kind of agree. If I was the vice principal of a school, I wouldn't just tell two girls, oh, just go try to find a ride or go use somebody else's cell phone on the football field. I gotta go. I don't know if it was the next day or what. I just remember really soon after, a news team actually came to my house and interviewed me about what had happened, interviewed my mom about her reaction and everything. They got an interview from the vice principal. Yeah, that was my 15 seconds of fame on the news. The almost missing girl. Freaking car full of guys could have taken us. The dog could have mauled us. I don't know what could have happened, but I'm really glad nothing serious really happened. We were just missing from like 5 to 9 at night, and then everything was fine. It was just a little scary. Nowadays, it's not really a problem because like everyone and their 5-year-olds have cell phones, so communication is so much better these days. So yeah, that was my story time about the time that I went missing, and I was almost on a missing child poster. I don't think it would have gone that far actually, since I was actually home that night. But yeah, my mom was this close to putting an Amber Alert out on me. Let me know if something crazy like this has happened to you before, where you just couldn't get a hold of anybody when you needed them, and you just kind of got stranded somewhere. You had to walk home from a really far away place just because nobody would come get you or nobody wanted to give you a ride home. If you want to see more story times, let me know, because they are kind of fun to film, even though I'm not the best at telling stories, I don't think. I'm kind of everywhere. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you really soon in my next video. Oh, that was weird. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you really soon in my next video. Bye!